Alrighty, Lumberjacks, welcome back. And today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. This was actually a video encouraged by lots of people that have sent me emails. This one actually especially goes out to John, who donated some money and was asking for some help with some stuff. I said, as a big thanks for his donation that he gave us, I'd make this video showing some of the easy stuff that I do to sort of cheat, but maybe development, I guess, is a better word. So big thanks to John for that. Hopefully this helps you out. So questions I've gotten are, how do I pick up the machinery and move it around just with my mouse and keyboard? So I know there's a few mods out there. I haven't really looked in FS25 to see if the mods are out because I use the console, but there is super strength mods, there's lumberjack mods, there's all kinds of stuff that allows you to have like super strength with your pointer. So normally you can walk up to objects and pick them up. So for instance, if I walk up to one of these pylons sitting over here, I can pick it up, click, and then drop it because it's light enough that the game allows me to pick that up. But if I go to this truck, for instance, I can't do anything with it because it's huge and it's too big and I can't lift it. But I know some people have seen me pick these up and they want to know how the heck I did that. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that. So the very first thing you need to do, if you're not using mods and you're planning on doing this within the game itself, because it does have the ability, the first thing you need to do is you need to actually activate development controls. So to do that, I'm just going to click over here. We're going to open up a random thing here. Okay, so I'm going to drag this over so you guys can see it. So in your computer, this is inside your PC, you want to go to your documents folder, so my documents there. Then you want to go to my games, double click on that, scroll down to Farming Simulator 2025, double click on that. You're going to see a whole pile of stuff in here. Just scroll right to the bottom where it says game. Now, I use Notepad++, which is a program used for coding, but a lot of people use Notepad. So if this for some reason is showing up as like a white thing and you can't open it up, you can just right click on it and go open with Notepad. So if you click on Notepad, it'll open up and you'll see all of this stuff piled in here. It might look a little confusing. You don't know what's going on. So basically, these are your game settings. So you can see your graphics, what you have your resolution set to. There's some of the graphical controls, stuff like that, audio, inputs, blah, blah, blah. So the one you're looking for is way down here called development. So under development, there's this control section. Now on yours, if you've never activated this little piece right here will say false. So you want to change that to true. So just type in TRUE. Like that, and lowercase, not uppercase, no capital, all lowercase. So change it from false to true. Then you go up to the top, file, save, close, and then start the game. So what that does is that enables the developmental controls for the game, so you can do developer stuff. So right below on your keyboard, right below the escape button, there's that little line, that little squiggly line. That's called the tilde button. So you want to hit that. And what happens is it opens up the console, which is this giant information station up here. And what it does is it tells you all the information about the game while you're loading it. People like modders use this to find errors. We use it to track down issues, and we use it to control it. So if you push that little squiggly line below escape one more time, it actually opens up a place where you can type in stuff. So you see I'm typing a bunch of gibberish here. Now, in FS25, which is really nice, is they actually give you sort of a list of stuff. So if you push down with your arrow, or sorry, I think it's tab, it will let you kind of scroll down so you can see all the different things. So I'm not going to go over everything. You guys can feel free to play around in there if you want. What I'm going to go over today is a few things that are kind of fun little tips for setting up your stuff. So the very first one is the super strength. So again, John and several others were asking, how do I pick up a vehicle and just move it because I'm so annoyed having to move stuff around? It would be nice to have that kind of a cheat. So as you bring up this console, so again, hit the little button below escape, the little tilde, 1, 2, you type in, all you have to do is type in strength, STRENGTH, and you'll see it right at the top here. So if you push enter, it'll automatically fill that out on the top there. So as you see, it's like filled out, and then you hit enter again, it'll say that enabled super strength in the console. And then you just hit that little button below escape twice again, or once again, sorry, and it'll close it. So now, as you can see, my hand appears when I walk up to an object. So now I can actually pick this giant truck up and drop it. That's basically what the super strength does. And then if you want to turn it off again, because sometimes it's annoying to accidentally keep it on, just hit that little button again twice, push up arrow on your keyboard, because it saves it in the thing here. Push up arrow and then hit enter again. And sorry, it's hard to see that in the console because it's bright. You'll say disable super strength. And then now it's just back to normal where you can't pick up stuff. So the other one that other people wanted to know was, how do I get it? They saw me running really fast. So that's another one in the console. I'm going to use this truck as a backboard here. So strength is one I always type in. It pops up there. Hit enter, it's on. Type in speed, and that's the player speed, super speed toggle. Hit enter, it brings it up automatically so you don't have to type it all. Then hit enter again, and now you have super speed. And this allows you to run really, really fast. So if you're walking, all you gotta do is hold down your shift button, your left shift, and you'll actually like just run really fast. So for people who don't like low bedding and or if you're playing multiplayer and you want to set up something real quick, I do this all the time where I'll go up, because I have super strength and speed enabled. I just click on this machine. You'll see me do this in videos where I'll just wheel and I'll run this machine all the way out to the block and plunk her down right here. And now it's ready to go. And then you're like, oh, you know what? I changed my mind. Let's bring it back to the mill because we need it at the mill. And I can go drive it here. This is very unrealistic, obviously, and it's kind of a cheat mode for moving stuff around, but I understand there's situations where, especially if you're setting up a server really fast, you don't want to sit there low bedding for 2 hours. You can just grab stuff, drag it, run it out to the bush, and then again, to turn it off, just hit that tilt button a couple times, and push up arrow, enter, up arrow. I'm going to hit up arrow again, because then strength will be the next one, and then hit enter, and that'll turn it all off so it's back to normal. So that is a really handy one if you are playing around with moving the machines around, or if you're lazy and you don't want to have to move stuff. Also, you can like redo your log piles if you want, using that to kind of cheat a bit. So that's a really handy one that a lot of people like. So super strength and super speed are ones I use lots, and that's kind of handy, fun stuff. So if you want to get a little bit more into other development stuff, I'm not going to get into the modding side. This is strictly just for like playing the game stuff today. One that you can do, so if you like taking pictures, so if you want to take really nice pictures, this is what I do. So for instance, if I want to take a picture of this truck, it looks okay the way it is right now, but it's not framed very nice. So I want to be able to like zoom in on that and make it nice, like I'm holding a camera in my hand, right? So the very first thing I do, I really don't like this white dot. So there's this white dot that's always in the way here. That's just part of your HUD, so you know where your character's aiming. So if you go into your console again, you can type in HUD, H-U-D, and the very first one that pops up is toggle HUD visibility. So I hit enter, then I hit enter, and that makes your whole HUD disappear. So we don't have the stuff in the top right where it's talking about the game. We don't have the arrow pointer anymore. It's just this perfectly clean image so that you can take really nice pictures. The next thing I like to do is, like I said, I like to zoom in, and I like to get different angles and different focal ranges to get better pictures. So if you bring up the console again, we're going to type in FOV. And FOV is your focal range. It's your field of view, but it's going to be our focal range in this case for our camera. So I'm going to shoot it to 30, which is really low. It's zoomed right in. So if I type, so type in FOV first, then hit enter one time. So one enter, and it'll bring it up so it says GS camera FOV set. Then you just type a number behind it, whatever you want. So you could set it, I set it to 30 sometimes. That's a real zoomed in. But if you hit enter, you see how far my thing has zoomed in. So I'm going to close the console, but you see how cool of a look that is. So now you're getting a focally zoomed in photo, and it's also keeping that high resolution picture. So if you set it really, again, all you have to do is type, so because we just used that command, if you hit up arrow on your keyboard, it'll actually bring the last one that you used up. and you can cycle through all the ones that you've used. And then all you got to do is backspace to change it. So if I want to make it 65 again, you can make it 65. You can make it like 120 if you want to be crazy, to have like a really wide fisheye kind of view. That way you can kind of get a little bit closer to them and get weird shots. You can do all kinds of stuff. If you've ever done photography before, which I used to be a photographer, you can get some really cool angles and really cool effects taking pictures. But yeah, around like the 30 is kind of like the good spot for me. For taking pictures of like that kind of nice zoomed in look. You can get like that kind of quality, but like I said, you still have that high resolution shot of it, so it looks really, really good, and it just gives you a whole different perspective. So I think my default is like 65, so we'll just leave it there. But if you take a picture from, say, like out here at 65, and then you go into like Photoshop or something and you zoom in on the picture, the resolution is going to look like crap. All the edges will be jaggy. It'll look really terrible. Because you're not actually rendering that focal zoom in the game. You're actually zooming in on an already taken picture, and it ruins the quality. So if you want a zoomed in look, make sure you're actually zooming in, then take your picture by hitting print screen, or if you have a screenshot program, then take your picture, bring it into Photoshop, then you can play with it because it's at full resolution. It still looks great. You can use it for thumbnails, you can use it for whatever you want, but it's a really handy little tool. That's pretty much it for the console stuff as far as playing the game. Those are the most common things that I used to make it a little bit easier for myself and for doing thumbnails and pictures. What was the other one? Oh, he said about traveling. Okay, so these are kind of basic things, but some people don't know them. So in our map, if we hit escape, oh good, we're saving the game. That's great. Probably didn't want to do that, but that's okay. So in the game itself, we have this little map that's open. Now you can travel from locations. Now on my maps, there's no locations. There's one location for the main farm, which is out usually in the middle of nowhere. And then there's a mill location and a gas station. But if you click on any of these little square points, you can actually click visit and it'll bring you over there. It's like, oh, hey, I'm back at the mill. And then, oh, I want to go to the gas station. Oh, look, I'm back at the gas station. And for whatever reason, if I want to go way over here, I can click visit and I'll be out in the middle of my farm area, which that's just part of the game, so don't worry about that. You can also click on individual machines. So if you got your, if you got your loader out here, you want to go to your loader, you click on that and you click enter vehicle, and it'll actually put you inside the vehicle. You can also sell your vehicles, which is really handy, and I love this feature. So if you have a machine, suddenly you don't want anymore, like, oh, I want to sell this, you can either reset it, which will bring it back to the store and just line it up like when you first bought it, or you can actually return the object and sell it, and it gets rid of it, and it brings it back. In my case, I'm returning it because I lease all my stuff, just because it's cheaper for the gameplay. But yeah, so that's one easy way to do it. And then for anybody that doesn't know, you can also tab. So if you hit tab on your keyboard, it actually tabs you from vehicle to vehicle. Very easy, very simple, that kind of stuff, right? Other than that, there's one more console command that I could bring up. That's the daytime, nighttime. So for instance, if you're playing the game, you can control the time set of day. So I'm just going to turn the HUD back on here for a second. So up in the top right, you can see the HUD. I'm just making it so you can see it better there. We're in July right now, and it says 14:02. So it's like 2:02, I believe. I'm terrible at military time, but I think that's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So you have the ability in the console to actually change the time. So what I first do usually when I start a game, I'll hit escape. I'll go down to this little settings cog wheel here. Or is it under this? Yes, it should be. So settings. And then I think it's, is it under game setting? Game settings. So if you take your time scale and drop that down to real time, that will make your days last way longer so that you're not getting to nighttime as quickly. Because I've had lots of guys say, oh, I hate logging at night. I hate working at night. How do I get the night over with quicker? So setting this to real time will really slow that down so that you're not going through your days as quickly. If you are in nighttime and you're stuck in it and you're annoyed, also changing that to the highest it'll go, which is 360. You'll see that counter for your time in the top right going, and if you watch, the sun will start to just roll really quickly around the map. But that's one way to get through the time like way quicker. And then once you're back to daytime, just turn it right down. I didn't even know there was actually a 0.5 time. So you can even slow it down more if you want your days to last longer. But if you keep it in real time or even 0.5 time, your days will last for a long time. So if you are stuck in night mode and you're like, oh my God, I want it to be day now, you can do that. So in the console, again, hit the tilde button twice to bring up the option. Type in time. And it's that GS set time. So if you hit enter once, so this one will tell you the time and hours and skip day, like it'll have those options. So if I usually type in, I think it's 8:50. So if I type in 8:50, it makes it like 10 a.m., which is kind of like my favorite time because the sun's kind of directly above us and it stays kind of clear while you're logging. So that's one way to change the time. You could also set it to nighttime if you wanted. I think 500 will put me at night, or like starting to be night here anyway. Moon's coming up. So yeah, you can change that and set whatever you want. But again, every time you do this, it seems to run the month. So see, it jumped us all the way to January. It'll jump you to January. If you do it again, it'll probably keep going. So now we're in December, November, October, September, August. So you can kind of cycle through, and the lights will flash like kind of crazy for a while. The weather will change. It'll kind of randomly show up. The grass and stuff will turn from its different seasonal changes. And if you don't like it, just hit that again, and usually it'll give you another random variation of weather. But it's one way to have some fun if you're just looking at changing the day and night time cycle in general. But yeah, that's pretty much the gist of all the stuff that I use to make the game easier for myself as a player, and for mod testing as well, being able to move the machines around, move the grapples. So if you guys are interested in doing that stuff, now you know how. You know the secrets of all of it. If there's anything else you guys need to know, just leave it in the comments, and I might bring it up in a future video. Thanks again, guys, for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one. See ya.